Any thoughts, any questions, any ideas, any criticisms, any appreciation? Solluma.
So I just want to know that why Tamil Nadu symbol is of Srivilliputturu temple, not Tanjavur's Periya Kovil?
Why Srivilliputturu Kovil is not talked about, but Tanjavur Kovil is talked about?
And why it's not a symbol?
Why is not in the book, இல்லையா?
Symbol, Tamil Nadu symbol வந்து ஏன் ஸ்ரீவில்லிபுத்தூர் டெம்பிளா இருக்கு, தஞ்சை பெரிய கோயிலா இல்ல?
இல்ல. ஓ, அந்த கேள்வியா? That is a very good question. I don't know the answer to that. I think you should find out, Google and find out the answer. You tell me, okay? Send me a message. Correct? Please, ma'am, சொல்லுங்க.
See, our state symbol we are having as Srivilliputturu. அந்த ஸ்ரீவல்லிபுத்தூர் கோபுரத்தில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு சிலைகள் ஆஃப் காட் இருக்கவே இருக்காது. ஒன்லி டைமென்ஷன்ஸ் அண்ட் அதர் திங்ஸ் ஒன்லி யூ வில் பி ஹேவிங். உன் புக் எடுத்து பார்த்தா அது தெரியும். ஸ்ரீவல்லிபுத்தூர் டெம்பிள் கோபுரம் இருக்குல்லம்மா, அந்த கோபுரத்தில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா யூ see the temple of our ஸ்கூல். அங்கே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா பொம்மை இருக்கா இல்லையா? ஏதோ ஒரு கடவுள் அங்கே இருக்காங்க இல்லையா? பட் ஆனால் ஸ்ரீவல்லிபுத்தூர் டெம்பிள் கோபுரம் வெரி பிக் கோபுரம் இருக்குது. ஒரு 13 டயர் இட் இஸ் ஹேவிங். 13 அடுக்கு இருக்குது. அதில் ஒரு இடத்துல கூட எந்த ஒரு கடவுளோட பொம்மையும் அங்கே இருக்காது. அதனால தான் தமிழ்நாடு இஸ் ஹேவிங், வி ஷுட் பி வெரி ப்ரவுட் ஃபார் தட், பிகாஸ் வி ஃபாலோ ஆல் த ரிலீஜியன் இன் தமிழ்நாடு. அதுக்காக தான் அவங்க வந்து அந்த ஸ்ரீவல்லிபுத்தூர் அந்த கோபுரத்தை நம்மளுக்கு ஸ்டேட் சிம்பிள் வி ஆர் ஹேவிங்.
Thank you. Good questions. Good questions. அப்புறம் அங்க மைக் கொடுங்கம்மா, அவருக்கு ஒரு மைக் கொடுங்க.
சார், உலகத்தில் எத்தனையோ 7 அதிசயம் இருந்தாலும் அதில் சாய்ந்த கோபுரத்தை வச்சிருக்க பதிலாக இதை வச்சிருக்கலாம் சார். தஞ்சை பெரிய கோயில் அவ்வளோ வீக்காக கட்டி அது சாய்ந்ததுனால அதை வச்சிருக்காங்க. 1000 வருஷம் முன்னாடி.
கரெக்ட். நல்லா கேட்க. என்ன கேட்கறான் பையன்? புரிஞ்சுதா? கேட்டது புரிஞ்சுதா? என்ன அது பேர் என்ன? லீனிங் டவர் ஆஃப் பீஸா. அதை போட்டு யாராவது ஒண்டர் ஆஃப் த வேர்ல்டுன்னு சொல்லுவாளா? ஃபெயிலியர் ஆஃப் த வேர்ல்டுன்னு சொல்லணும். ஏன்னா இப்போ போட்டிருக்க நியூஸில் பார்த்தேன், கொஞ்ச நாள் முன்னாடி கூட பார்த்தேன் நியூஸில் வந்து ஏதோ ரொம்ப இன்னொன்று கொஞ்சம் டில்ட் ஆகிடுது, லீன் ஆகிடுதுலாம் சொல்லிட்டு இருக்காங்க. அது என்ன போகுது நமக்கு தெரியாது. சரிப்பா, நீ என்ன வேணாலும் வச்சுக்கோ, சரியா? என்னோட நாட்டை பற்றி எது ஒண்டருங்கிறது நான் தான் சொல்லணும். கரெக்டா? நம்ம தான் சொல்லணும். அவனுக்கு தெரியாது இதெல்லாம். தே டோன்ட் நோ ஆல் தீஸ் திங்ஸ். அண்ட் ஸோ அது பெரிய ஸ்டோரி. குட் குவெஸ்சன். உன் பேர் என்னப்பா?
கிருஷ்ணான்.
என்ன சொன்னா? கிருஷ்ணா. வெரி குட். கிருஷ்ணான். குட். Very good question. Correct. That is why we should not go with United Nations and this and that. எவனோ 7 wonders of the world சொன்னா ஓகே, உன்னோட ஹிஸ்டரி புக்கு எக்ஸாம்க்கோசரம் நீ வேணா எழுதிக்கலாம். But you have to ask the question, who decides what these wonders are? Who decides all this? Somebody sitting in New York is deciding 7 wonders of the world. They didn't ask me at all about these things. அப்படின்னு நீங்க தான் கேட்கணும். When you come up, you get jobs in government and all that, you should ask all these questions and you should say, no, I will decide what are the wonders of India at least. Okay, forget world. I will tell you what are the wonders of India. Correct? Yeah. Next, avarta kudupa. Pinnadi or aal irukar. Solluma.
Sir, I am just here to
say a feedback, sir.
Sollu.
Sir, your presentation was wonderful, sir. Thank you for spending a valuable time with us. Hope you too enjoyed with us.
Once you ask questions, I like questions. So after you ask the questions, I will say I enjoyed it very much. Okay? Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
So, you have learnt in IIT Madras. What are the qualifications for entering IIT Madras?
So, good. உன் பேர் என்னம்மா? Pratima.
Mahima.
Mahima. Mahima. So, Mahima is asking, what are the qualifications to enter IIT Madras? You must be very good at copying in exams. If you have not done that, start doing now itself. Okay, send me a text message. Sir, I like that idea, sir. உங்களை வந்து பார்க்கட்டுமா சார்? எங்கே சார் இருக்கீங்க நீங்கள்? வடவில்லையா? நான் வரட்டுமா? இன்னைக்கு சார் வரேன். See, IIT Madras is another university. Okay, it is supposed to be a good university, no doubt. I agree with you. But எல்லாருக்கும் IIT Madrasல இடம் கிடையாது. முட்டிண்டு மோதினா கூட இடம் இருக்காது. You have to first say, I am going to study whatever I am given here in the school. I will do my best. I'll do my best. Because 3, 4, 5 years from now, what will happen? Nobody can say. Okay? But qualifications, there is only one qualification. What is that? What is that? There is an exam called JEE, Joint Entrance Exam. அந்த எக்ஸாமை நீ நல்லா எழுதினா உனக்கு ஐஐடி கிடைச்சிடும். அந்த எக்ஸாம்க்கு எழுதுறதுக்கு என்ன குவாலிஃபிகேஷன் கேட்கணும் இல்லையா? ஐஐடி என்டர் பண்ணுறதுக்கு அது ஒன்று தான் குவாலிஃபிகேஷன். அந்த கேட் வழியாக நுழைஞ்சிட்டேன்னா யூ கேன் கோ இன் டு ஐஐடி. பட் தென் திஸ் இஸ் அ வெரி காம்படிட்டிவ் எக்ஸாம். கரெக்ட்? மை அட்வைஸ் டு ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் இஸ் திஸ்: don't focus on a particular university. Don't focus on a particular college. இங்கே தான் நான் போய் ஆவேன். You can always push yourself. I want to study well. I want to excel in what I do. எனக்கு இந்த கான்செப்ட் புரியல, இது புரியிற வரைக்கும் நான் விட போகிறது இல்லை. ஓகே, those are all qualities. Correct? I didn't understand it properly. Somehow I have to understand. I will find somebody who knows this, who can teach me properly. Correct? Then you got it. இல்லாட்டா அறகுறையாக விட்டுருது, எல்லாமே அறகுறையாக விட்டுருது. கரெக்ட்? எப்படி கொஞ்சம் படிக்கிறது, ஓகே ஓகே, என்ன அப்படி பண்ணால் என்ன ஆகும்னா எல்லாம் அறகுறையாக இருக்கும். என்ன சர்க்கிளோட ஃபார்முலா சர்க்கம்ஃபரன்ஸ் 2πr. எப்படி 2πr என்னாச்சு அப்படின்னா அதெல்லாம் கேட்காதீங்க. 2πr ஃபார்முலா தெரியும் எனக்கு, அவ்வளோதான். πr² தெரியும் எனக்கு, அதோட விட வேண்டியதான். கிவ் மீ r, I will tell you the area. கிவ் மீ diameter, I will tell you the radius. இதுதான். எதுக்காக சர்க்கிளோட ஏரியா கண்டுபிடிக்கணும்? என்ன, ஹவு the volume of the cylinder is πr²h. கரெக்ட்? am I correct? நான் இதெல்லாம் படிச்சு ரொம்ப வருஷம் ஆயிடுது. ஓகே, நான் சும்மா வாயால சொன்னேன். இப்போ how it is πr²h னா you should be able to understand it, prove it to yourself. You have to prove it. Correct? Not to the rest of the world. These are the qualifications ma. புரிஞ்சுதா? Be truthful to yourself, then you can do whatever you want and you'll be happy doing what you want. That is very important. Ilya, you go to IIT but you're not happy naga, that is also not good. So don't always look at the values that you have. Values: I will speak the truth, I will work hard, I will help those who need help, and then that's it. Thank you. Good question, Mahima.
Sir, I have a doubt. Sir, you've been telling us about the like not to focus on just one particular university. So you also gave the reason. So are you telling if you're, for example, sad at IIT, it's technically not good in a positive way?
So last line, what is the last question you asked?
Do not like
So not focus on a university, one particular university, and therefore.
And even though if we get in the university, and if you're still like depressed over that, it's a bad sign. Like, what do you mean by that?
Correct. So good question. So he's asking that question. Hey, you go to a great university, correct? Un per ennapa?
Joshua Vincent.
Okay, Joshua. All right. So the question is, what do you mean by going to a good university and not being happy? Correct? Obviously, you'll be happy if you go to a top university. Correct? Who will not be happy? See, this is a very big topic. Happiness is a very big topic. Correct? Suppose I say all rich people are happy. Yes or no? Why no? Money should make you happy, right? No. Everybody is saying no. That means happiness, although I need money to survive, although I need money to be comfortable you need to have some money, okay? Correct? Or air conditioner run, you need money. Right? Lot of money you need. So obviously you need money to be comfortable, but comfort versus happiness. Are they same thing? Comfort. Do you understand what comfort is? Vasadi, etc. Comfort. Happiness. Are they same things? Comfort and happiness? They are not the same. Ingeda catch. This is the catch, correct? I want to be comfortable. That means what? You have to earn your money, you spend wherever you have to spend, etc. You will be comfortable. And that's what IIT will teach you. IIT will teach you how to be good in all these subjects, and therefore how to get a great job in a company. That's all it will teach you. It will not teach you how to be happy. Correct? No university teaches you how to be happy. That you only have to figure out. That is why school and advisors are there, parents are there, and good friends are there. All these are important in our lives. That is why I tell my children, our children, I don't have children. In general, when I talk to children, I tell them, don't keep getting hooked to this phone. These days, everybody is just, hey, what about the rest of the world? So much is there. So many trees and birds are there. Kalamra, idu mailla kattaradu keteya? Maila. Amma, nee phone pathunda unak enga mail enga kekka porudhu? So it is a very good question, and it means that you stay focused on what you are doing, but don't be carried away by name and fame. Correct? Name and fame enakku onum solla vanda. Just listen to yourself. What is the right thing for me, and do, and what I like, try to do what you like to do. Honestly. Correct? Good question.
Why Tanjavur temple was not recognized as world wonders of the world?
Yeah, so, per ennama?
So, Devadarshini, sir. Devadarshini.
Devadarshini, yes. Right. So, she is asking why this Periya Kovil, Okandra, why the big Kovil was not recognized as one of the 7 wonders. Nama manasla enna irukna, some people are sitting somewhere, they are very serious about all people of all world, everywhere, all countries, and therefore we should do all these things. They don't do like that. There will be some application. India has to put an application to this United Nations or whichever organization decides these things and say, we want United Nations to recognize Brihadishwara temple as one of the wonders of the world. Then they will take it, and then there will be a group of people, we don't know who those people are, and they are going to look at all these things. Okay? And then there will be voting process. And 10 people will vote, and whatever happens, happens. That is the reason, ma. And so we don't have any control over all that. So at least we can ask our Prime Minister, wait a minute, 7 wonders of the world are there, we need 10 wonders of India. Is there a rule that prevents us from doing that? We can do it. 20 wonders of India, 10 wonders of Tamil Nadu. We can have our own lists, correct? That is how it should do. I want all of you to do that, okay? Yeah.
Sir, I have heard this information, sir, about Tanjavur Koil. It says that from gate to Nandi, it's 12 meter, exact 12 meters, sir. And the Nandi side is exact 18 meter. And it shows that Tamil letters. Is it true or not true, sir?
Yeah, I think it is true. I think it is true. Everything you said is true. The Nandi, and it is one of the, obviously the biggest Nandi in the whole world. And on the Nandi enna pannita, I heard that Nandi was destroyed. Damaged and destroyed. And so இப்ப இருக்கிற Nandi is not the original Nandi. Okay? இப்ப இருக்கிற Nandi பார்த்தனா ஒரு கருப்பா இருக்கும். Karuppa, it is not made like the original Nandi. So that also I have heard. So I think what you heard is also correct.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. On Paniga.
So by these things we realize that Indians are brilliant. Then how Britishers captured us?
உன் பேர் என்னம்மா?
So Ponna Abhirami.
Subhana Abhirami. சரி, அபிராமி என்ன சொல்றா? So Indians were great people, right? According to the few things we learned, Indians are great people. So how come the British conquered us? Mughals conquered us? இதுக்கு வந்து there is one scholar who says civilization is a very subtle thing, fine fabric. அந்த fabric ஜாக்கிரதையாக பார்த்துக்கணும். பார்த்துக்காட்டா அந்த fabric கிழிஞ்சு போயிடும் அப்படின்னு ஒரு ஸ்காலர் சொல்றாரு. Okay, and any time it can be lost, and the only way it will not be lost is by us knowing all these things. Only our pride will protect our culture, our history and our country. Correct? Therefore, this kind of sessions are very important, where we learn more about our country. So what happened? British came as, see, by the time the British came, who were there in our country? Mughals were there. See, the story of Mughal invasions of India is a very sad period of India's history. Correct? Very sad. Because invasion after invasion, temples destroyed, people killed. Aurangzeb got up one morning, he says in his autobiography, I woke up and then I hacked to death 1,000 people. This is the story of Indian history, Mughal history. But even this, your books won't tell you. What will your books say? The Mughal architecture, they contributed architecture, correct? They may or may not have contributed, I don't know. இது மாதிரி தான் books எல்லாம் சொல்லும், correct? Because there also there is a lot of what? Suppression of facts, correct? Facts வந்து சொல்லாத அப்படின்னு இருக்கு. இதெல்லாம் truth. I am telling you a lot of things because you are asking me those questions. And therefore இப்படி பண்ணி என்னாச்சு, we also have lost our hold and we have not been told, like Velu Nachiyar, there are tens of thousands of people who gave their lives which are not there in our textbooks. Correct? Really, every day I am hearing something new coming from every part of the country. East, West, Maharashtra, something new happened. Haryana, something is happening. New. இதெல்லாம் ஒண்ணுமே தெரியாது நமக்கு. So our people gave a tough fight. Our people were fighting constantly. And the British came and that's in the guise of friends. We are your friends. அப்படின்னு போட்டு we are going to trade with you அப்படின்னு ஆரம்பிச்சு ஈஸ்ட் இந்தியா கம்பெனின்னு பண்ணி குவைட்டா எல்லாத்தையும் என்ன பண்ணிட்டாங்கன்னா, They started, this is a big story, okay? India was a rich country, very wealthy country in 1900. 1900 is only 120 years ago. It was the richest country in the world. How many of you knew India was the richest country in the world? All of you knew this. Okay? 1900, just 120 years ago, it was the richest country. China and India were competing. Okay? 23% of the GDP, world GDP was India's at that time. British enna panta, we are going to teach them, colonize them, and then abdin sollittu they started exporting everything out of India. Okay? And economy started going down. Tax, increased tax. Panni. By the time the British left in 1947, you know the economy of India? 23% of world GDP. That means 23% of the money flowing back and forth is going through India. That is 23%. When the British left, we were at 3%. 3%. India was made into a poor country by the British. Straight away sollalam. Look up the book called Will Durant. Will Durant கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா? You Google Will Durant, and Will Durant, what he did, he wanted to write a book. He's an American. He heard a lot about India, Indian philosophy, Indian culture. Okay? தமிழ்நாட்டில் பரதநாட்டியம், அங்கே போனால் ஒடிசி, இங்கே போனால் கதகளி, இங்கே போனால் இதுன்னு ஏகப்பட்ட வித்தியாசம் இருக்குது. இவ்வளோ கிரேட் கல்ச்சர் ஐ ஹாவ் டு விசிட்னு சொல்லிட்டு, அண்ட் ஐ வாண்ட் டு ரைட் அபவுட் த கிரேட்னஸ் ஆஃப் இந்தியான்னு சொல்லிட்டு, இந்த வில் டியூராண்ட் என்ன பண்ணார், அமெரிக்காவிலேருந்து ஷிப்பில் இந்தியாவுக்கு வந்திருக்காரு. இந்தியாவுக்கு வந்து பார்த்தா people are begging on the streets. But the books he read, they said India is a great country and all that. Then he got shocked. Then he knew what happened. He knew that the British came and made this country poor. And instead of writing a book on the great philosophies of the world, including Indian philosophy, he wrote another book to tell how sorry what British did. And it is called A Case for India. That is the name of the book. A Case for India. If you ever want to read a book, you write this down and read Will Durant's book. It's called A Case for India. And he just stopped all his work. And he started talking to Indians and said, guys, the British are ruining your country. They are plundering your country. They are ruining your lives. You need to get up and kick them out. Okay? So this is a long story, correct? And now the time is already 1:15. But I thank all of you for asking questions. I appreciate it. Unnoru question irukka? Last question,
Sir, you told that many Indians only discovered many things like max formulas and many things, sir. But why they are not mentioned in our book, sir? What's your opinion?
Good. Your name is?
Sir, Pritish, sir.
Pritish. Okay. Priti. So the question kaadala velundadhu illaya? Indians invented all these things. Why the books don't say all these things? Why should I come here and talk about all these things? This is where the greatness of British comes. See, British have come to do what? To help us? They wanted to trade with us, do business with us. You can be in Britain and do trade with us. Why should you come here and establish your colony here? We were a colony of the British. Britain is one country which had colonized 80% of the entire world. 80% of the entire world British have gone. நீ என்ன கண்ட்ரி எடுத்தாலும் பாரு, அவரோட ஹிஸ்ட்ரி பார்த்தானா எப்பயாவது பிரிட்டிஷ் இல்லாட்டா போர்ச்சுகல் இல்லாட்டா இந்த they will come. அந்த ஹிஸ்ட்ரி தான் இருக்கும். So they are just come here because that is that exploratory nature. This is a big story. They've come and okay, fine, do business, whatever. And you steal from us, that is fine, you can steal from us also. இப்போ தான் பிரிட்டிஷ் பார்லிமெண்ட்டில் ஒருத்தர் போய் பேசிட்டு வந்திருக்காரு, நம்ம இந்தியன் ஒரு பொலிட்டீஷியன். அங்கே போயிட்டு யூ கைஸ் ஹவ் ஸ்டோலன் எவ்ரி திங் ஃப்ரம் அஸ்ன்னு சொல்லிட்டார். டைரெக்டாக பிரிட்டிஷ் பார்லிமெண்ட்டில் குவீனை பார்த்து சொல்லிட்டார் அவர். And if you look at the amount of money you stole from us, it is some $30 trillion அப்படின்னு. நமக்கு எத்தனை ஜீரோ இருக்குன்னே தெரியாது அந்த ட்ரில்லியன் நம்பரில். அவ்வளோ அப்படின்னு டைரெக்டாக சொல்லிட்டார். So they did all this. Okay, அது போனாலும் பரவாயில்ல, காசு போனாலும் பரவாயில்ல. But what happened? The books Because future generation will know about all these things. No, we will prevent the future generation from knowing all this. Therefore, at least நம்ம இந்தியன்ஸ் ஆவது முயற்சிட்டு இருக்கணும். நம்ம நெஹ்ரு etc. Our people did not do anything. I'm not blaming any one person or all that. Don't think I'm blaming Nehru and all that. I'm saying the people who, after the British left, Indian leaders came. What did they do? They kept the things exactly இப்படியே இருக்கட்டும் அப்படின்னு வச்சுட்டு today also the same thing is continuing, but it is improving much better. It is improving a lot. Therefore you will see a lot of changes coming into the curriculum in time. இன்னும் ஆகும் 10, 15, 20, 30 years ஆகும் இன்னும் நிறைய facts நிறைய வரத்துக்கு. But the process has already started. Okay? Good question. Very good question. Choluma.
Sir, whose fault is that these inventions didn't get the recognition, sir? Indians or British?
Whose fault is it? She's telling name. Kai kaatungara அந்த பொண்ணு பரவாயில்லை ஸ்மார்ட்டா இருக்கா அந்த பொண்ணு. Blame somebody அப்படிங்கறா. It is a fault of both. It is a fault of both. British had their own agenda. They did not come here to serve all of us. No, they just plundered the country. I told you the economy went down 20%. It went down 23 to 3 is a big loss for the country. It is like making America into a poor country. Can you imagine America being a poor country? You can't imagine. But India was like America just 100 years ago. So they did that. At least Indians should come and say, now we have to clean the whole place up. Correct? We got ruined, we got brainwashed, we got colonized. No. They didn't do that also. They didn't do that. In fact, today, I am working with 2 states in this Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, my team and myself, to change their social studies textbooks. So they are giving us the books. Last 4-5 years we've been working. 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th பண்ணியாச்சு Telangana state oda. Now Andhra Pradesh state oda we are started with 6th and 7th is going to happen. What they want us to do? Please look at these books and recommend to us what changes to make. Correct? Is that a good thing? It's an important thing. It's a very important thing. Like this every state has to do. So that process is also ongoing. Good question, Ma. Thank you.
Sir, this question was with me for a long time. Either Padashala type or the Western type of education which we are following right now, which is best according to you?
Which is best, Western education or
the Padashala education which we Indians have followed for long years?
Partial education.
Padashala type.
Oh, Padashala education.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. See, whether it is a Padashala or a big school or a bigger school with air conditioning and all that, it is a different thing. What I am studying is the most important thing. What am I going to study? What are my teachers teaching me? Correct? We have to learn various subjects. You are not learning just one subject. Mathematics irukku, science irukku, social studies irukku, English irukku, Tamil irukku. Okay? Illa Tamil padikka maten, it's old fashioned. I'm going to study only English. Appadi sonna, is it right? It is not correct. Because sitting in Tamil Nadu, I must study Tamil. கொஞ்சமாவது தமிழ் கற்றுக்கணும் இல்லையா? திருக்குறள் ஏதாவது ஒரு குறள் 2 குறளாவது சொல்ல கற்றுக்கணும் நம்ம. ஏன்னா நம்ம ஊரில் இருக்கிறவர் தான் எழுதியிருக்காரு, திருவள்ளுவர் எழுதியிருக்காரு. நமக்கு அதில் இருக்கிற கருத்தெல்லாம் பார்த்தேன்னா அசந்து போயிடுவேன் நீ. சரியா? So we have to study it. So the question is whether you are sitting in an ashram or gurukulam or padashala or in a big concrete building like now, what are you studying? That is what I will ask you. You tell me what you are studying, I will tell you whether you will be successful or not. Correct? So that's what we need to focus on. So Padashala education, why it was successful? It was successful because every child was getting education. Today is every child getting education? Huh? No. Lot of people have not even gone to school. So the British, what they did, they saw that this Pathshala education made everybody literate. That is why this country is progressive and very literate. Even Britain was illiterate compared to India at that time. So one of the things we have to do is we have to break this system. And how did they break the system? They started establishing all these rules. You must have a building of this structure, if this type. If illana, you cannot have a class. Overnight, lot of classes got cancelled. Lot of patashalas did not survive because they put up these rules. And illiteracy started. Correct? Very sad story, correct? Romba sad idella. So therefore, that is the answer to your question, ma. Okay? So that patashala system taught everybody whatever they need to know. And so whether we are sitting in a big hall or not, it's what we study is very important. Choluma.
So British Museum have our artifacts, but why can't we have it?
Correct. Good question. Rohini. Very good question. These are the questions we need to ask ourselves. உனக்கு ராஜராஜ சோழனோட கிரவுன் பார்க்கணும்னா இந்தியாவில் இருக்காது. என்ன எங்கேயா ஓடணும், அங்கே ஓடணும், பிரிட்டிஷ்க்கு போகணும். How many people can go to London? என்ன ஜோக்கா இது? கோஹினூர் டைமண்ட் அங்கே தான் இருக்குங்கிறாங்க. கரெக்ட்? It should be in India. What? See, not on. This is why there is in WhatsApp I saw a message. என்ன மெசேஜ் வந்ததுன்னா, Queen Elizabeth and Narendra Modi are talking to each other. Okay, or message. Okay, it's something about the Queen is saying, you have something about some stealing or something. He's talked about some corruption. There is some news that the government is stealing money from its people. Appadinu edo something. And the Narendra Modi said, yeah, but you also stole, but we don't keep our stolen goods on our heads. This queen had a crown which all had the gems, all Indian gems are there. So I'm saying the people have stolen and it is still there in their country itself. They're not even interested in giving it to us. Now you may see in the news. Are you seeing in the news? Sometimes you find the Prime Minister, they have come and they are giving back. Nataraja statues come back. Abadini you are seeing the news. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There are thousands and thousands of artifacts that are stolen. In fact, there's a big mafia. The mafia of idols. Tamil Nadu la nadandundirukku. You see, Google and see. Okay? Good question, ma. Thank you very much.
Sir, what would you think if Britishers and other foreigners like Pythagoras have not entered India? What will be the India status right now?
See, good question. Okay, so what will be India's status if they didn't come? See, lot of people visited India because India was the storehouse of knowledge. India was a wealthy country. They used to say where milk and honey used to flow everywhere, it seems. Flow. That's how they described our country. These Chinese travelers and all, they used to come and they went back with shiploads of books. Andha kalathiliye. What do they say? What is the first script in the world? Script. Lela, history books, your history books, what are they saying? First writing, which country they talk about? இது வந்து ஹீரோகிராஃபிக்ஸ்னு கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா? ஈஜிப்ட் இப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. Egyptians were the first people who wrote and there was a script அப்படின்னு 3500 years ago அதெல்லாம் சொல்லுவாங்க. இதெல்லாம் கதை, பியூர் கதை. இதெல்லாம் பிளஃப். எந்த காலத்துலேருந்தோ நம்ம எழுதிட்டு இருக்கோம். ஏதோ அந்த பௌதான போட்டிருக்க அவர் எழுதினா இருக்காரு. நம்ம விநாயகர் கதை இருக்கு தெரியுமா? வை தி கணேஷா ஹேட் ஒரு தும்பிக்கை இது உடஞ்சிருக்கு. தும்பிக்கையில் அது என்ன சொல்றது, பல்லு, ஒரு பல்லு உடஞ்சிருக்கு. that story இல்லையா? Mahabharata. So he broke and then started writing. Hey, that means his writing has been going on for a long time. You may not know when it started, but it started long ago. I'm telling you one thing, if the British had not come to India, our economy would have been much better and we would not be brainwashed. This brainwashing is the problem. Wealth also, we can create our own wealth, correct? We can help each other and all of us can be happy, correct? But when we are brainwashed, we are constantly looking at the West and saluting like this, correct? West enga, which is West? I don't know. Idan West, this is West. So look westward and salute. This is what we are doing. Mentally, this is what we are doing. See, suppose somebody visits us. Mr. John Campbell is coming to give a talk on India. Will we go to the talk? Obviously, we'll go to the talk because somebody American is coming talking about India and all that. We'll go to the talk. But the same talk given by an Indian, no one goes. Indian history. Yeah, who wants to? History is a boring subject, madam. Nobody wants to study history. History teachers irukangala inga? Irukanga. School la irukanga. History. See, history teachers. I'm always for. I support history teachers because avungalukku support kediyadu. Students support panna matanga. But great subject, correct? Now you understand why it's a great subject. In America, history is considered a very important subject. So important that every child from a young age is studying their history. And also, you know what they say? History is a national security issue. History ko security ka sambandha irukka? Is there any connection between these two? No connection. National security na borders, military, who are my neighbors, what kind of problems, terrorism, these are the problems. No. History is part of that national security. In America solra, they take it so seriously. That is why that country is like that. Here we have given up history completely. Therefore, I want all of you to come back and say, come on. History padichadunala, it is so important. Very important, in fact. It has become boring because இப்படிதான் இருக்கு. எல்லாமே எர்க், ஓம், ஆம்பியர், பாஸ்கல், டைனன்னு இருக்கு. ஆப்வியஸ்லி போர் அடிக்கிறது. ஏதாவது ரெண்டு இந்தியன் பேரை சொல்லுப்பா. ராமானுஜனத்தை பற்றி பேசு. ஒரே ஒரு சயின்டிஸ்ட் ராமானுஜன் வராரு. there are so many people. Then we will feel more proud about all these things. Good question. Okay, I think we should stop. Correct? 1:30. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shantihi 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Thank you all very much.